Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in honor of seeing this post from my friend Diablo Immortal kind of blowing up, talking about feedback from the community that will be sent to Blizzard directly, I thought it would be an opportunity for me to talk about the 3 things that I think need to be addressed immediately ASAP that would literally double the amount of people playing Diablo Immortal, probably more, but at least double. So, obviously, we all have a wish list of a 1,000 things that we want to see, but it needs to be prioritized down to the most impactful things at that time so that we can get the player base growing again and flourishing so the game can be successful for the next at least a year or two until Diablo 4 comes out and our Diablo cravings are satiated. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, right out the gate, I will link to this post down below. And my friend DM, like I said, made this post where he's gonna be collecting some of this and trying to get it to Blizzard so that you can have a voice as a community. So if you want to give your input or you want to read through all of this exactly how it's posted, I'm sure DM will cover it in a video that he does. So stay tuned over on his channel. But also, I'll put the link to his post down below if you'd like to contribute anything or read through it. But anyway, the 3 things that I think need to be focused on, number 1 is going to be server activity, which is going to boil down to server merges, server transfers, and server consolidation down to get down, like grinding it down so that instead of, like, I think the game launched with like 130 servers. We've got to get that down to literally like 5. I think the game should literally be West, East, Europe, and Asia, something like that. Or if that's 2, or if that's not enough, like West 1, West 2, Asia 1, Asia 2. Like, it needs to be consolidated as much as humanly possible. And the reason for that is the game at its core, the canvas of it is actually pretty cool, but it requires a very robust and active server to make these systems shine, to make the market move consistently so players can trade their gems, so that the Shadow Clan and the Shadow Wars are super active. Right now on our server, we're lucky enough to have content creators and a pretty active clan, but our Shadow Wars are literally like 70 versus 2. I mean, we'll face a clan with literally 2 people. So it's like, that's not fun for either side. It's not fun for us. It's not fun for them to see they're facing us. And then the 15 people they do have are like, well, screw this. Well, why bother showing up? So we need active servers so that these Shadow Wars, these battles between Shadow clans are like 80 versus 80, an epic match going up against the leader, the Immortal, and trying to fill up those support groups and really challenging yourself and testing yourself consistently twice a week. Another reason for the need to crunch these servers as much as possible is it really fragments the player base. And the more that I exist in the gaming space, the more I realize that the games I tend to like the most are the games where we as a community and as a player base are the least segmented. So why did I love Diablo 2 and Diablo 3? It's because I can meet someone and be like, hey, yeah, what's up? You play Diablo 3? Let's play tonight. Like, add me. Here's my battle tag. Let's log on and play. You can't do that in Diablo Immortal because it's like, the odds, oh, you're on that server. The odds of them being on my server is like less than 1%. We're just not going to be able to play together when I meet somebody. So this fragmenting of the player base is really harmful towards the social aspect of finding people to play with, getting other friends involved, getting friends groups together to unite. It's really hard when you're this fragmented. I get the technological limitations because you're running around in an open world or you are cramming into one space at the Shadow Assembly. You can't have 200,000 people on the screen. It'll obviously crash, but we need to find a way technologically to, whether it's instance-based or whatever, server to crunch these servers down. I would rather have a 5-minute queue time to log in than have a ghost town of a server. I will gladly accept a queue if it means my server is insanely active and insanely robust, because that is what will make the whole system function properly. Between the Rite of Exile and the Shadows versus the Immortals and the marketplace and all the different open world mechanics, we need active servers. So in my opinion, the #1 priority is going to be getting these server transfers, server merges, and server consolidation happening ASAP. This needs to happen like yesterday. So whenever they can finally pull that off is going to be a very welcome thing in my opinion. It's the #1 priority right now. And remember, I said I'm going to go over 3 things. There's going to be 1,000 things in this topic, and I'm sure they're all valid. I'm sure they're all valid concerns and good feedback. But like I said, I'll let DM cover the whole topic. I'm just going to give you my 3 priorities that we need to see ASAP. So as a content creator, we have a little bit of a unique perspective because we see all sorts of comments in YouTube comment sections and in streams and on Twitter and on Discord. We kind of get feedback constantly every day from all different directions. And I think the thing that I see the most people complaining about, besides the monetization, obviously the pay to win stuff is always going to be #1. The #2 thing right after that is probably set dungeons. Grinding for those green set pieces after the monetization has gotta be the thing that I see most consistently complained about. It is miserable. They have got to address the dungeons ASAP. Like get server merges done, and after that, fix the damn set dungeons. There's so much wrong with it. The drop rates are laughably low. The chest that spawns after the boss fight is a silly mechanic where we all have to like go click on this chest. Just have a chest spawn and then open or something, or just have extra drops. Like, I don't get this extra chest. Like, maybe they want to make sure everyone's actually in the dungeon and present at the boss. I get that. Like, so maybe just let you click on the chest to open your individual loot. The loot is not global anyway. So why do all 4 of us gotta like touch it at the same time and have some weird mechanic? Just spawn a chest that you can click on to open for a bonus chance at a drop, which first of all, it's a meme. It's like less than a 1% chance to actually get a set piece from that damn chest that spawns at the end of the dungeon, and the drop rates are like 15%. You have people doing like 25 runs to get 1 drop, and it's just some trash can drop that means nothing after playing for 3 or 4 hours, and you're watching like a minute and a half of cutscenes and dialogue every single time. I mean, I could go on and on and on for hours on why set dungeons and the whole mechanic around it is terrible, but I don't like to just complain. I like to give solutions. So I think an easy way right out the gate to address set dungeons and at least show people that you are willing to listen and you're trying would be increase the drop rates. That's simple. That's just editing numbers in the code. Increase the drop rates. Give some sort of bonus to playing with your warband. Like for each warband member that you group up with, you get 5% magic find. So if there's 2 of you, you get 10%. If there's 3 of you, you get 15%. If you have a group of 4, you've got 20 or 25% extra bonus to magic find. I think the default drop rate is like 15%. Bump it up to like 25. I mean, like most of the pieces you find are going to be trash. So it's still going to be a grind even at 25%. Even if you double the drop rates, it's still going to be a grind. So increase the drop rates, increase the incentive to play with your warband, and cut down on the dialogue. The 500th time doing Temple of Daimari, we don't need to hear her talk for 2 minutes about the dialogue. It's really cool. The dungeons are pretty well done. I like the aesthetics of them. I like the atmosphere and everything. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything. The dungeons are cool. But after the 500th time, give us an option to turn off the dialogue, automatically skip cutscenes, automatically skip dialogue. And that alone would take these dungeons from like 3 or 4 minute runs to like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So that would make the grind a lot more enjoyable when you're going for these set pieces. And those are some very easy changes that would go a long way in the short term. And then for my last and third priority, I would say right now, we need to address the the monetization, the pay to win, and the gap between the spenders and the grinders. They have got to throw a bone to the grinders, to the people in the community, to the people that want to play 4 and 5 hours a day. Throw them a bone. More Elder Crests, like login rewards. Like if you log in all day, like if you log in for 7 straight days, you get a 10 pop of legendary crests. Like it takes so many things to max out a character. To get up to like 7,000 resonance, it would take you years if you were free to play, even if they like 5x'd the login rewards and the ways to acquire these things. They need to do more events in the game similar to the Fractured Plane that give the grinders, the high skill players, the low spenders an opportunity to compete in the game. And I think the Fractured Plane was a really good look into some cool things they could do in Diablo Immortal that would be a lot of fun regardless of your spending tier. Like, just imagine if the Fractured Plane was like a challenge rift and it was once a week, like that you got a new Fractured Plane every week, and it had a leaderboard for each class like a challenge rift. Imagine how cool that would be. You know, it's little things like that that get people engaging with each other. You get friends talking smack to each other. Like you would get me and DM and making videos like, oh dude, look at my ranking on the Fractured Plane. Come on, you need to get your game up. It's these things that keep the community going and active and trying new things. So do something like the Fractured Plane with a leaderboard to let people see how well they're doing on their class compared to their server, and then give rewards based on how well you do. Are you in the top 75%, the top 50%? Are you all the way up in the top 10%? And it's only based on skill. There is no pay to win. There is no way to complain. There is no negative feedback possible, because the resonance and none of that will count. So it'll just be dub after dub after dub for Blizzard and the Diablo Immortal community if they do something like that, to throw a bone to the lower spenders and the grinders and the high skill players. So yeah, that is my 3 things. Let me know yours down below. And like I said earlier, I will link to that post that DM made. I'm sure he'll cover that on his channel, but definitely go engage with the community and give us your input as well. Or you can do it here on my channel. I always enjoy reading your feedback if you want to leave it down below in the comment section. But again, just to summarize, my 3 priorities right now would be: number 1, server merges, consolidation to get the game a lot more active, to make the clans a lot more fun, to make the strife, the shadow versus immortal stuff a lot more fun and active and engaging. Number 2 would be to address the set dungeons, make them a lot less terrible to grind, make them a lot more fun for players to participate in and actually get worthwhile loot versus their time invested in them. And then number 3, throwing a bone to the low spenders and the grinders in the community to give them some sort of events in the game or avenue where they feel like they can earn something based on their grinding and their skill, something like a Fractured Plane with a weekly leaderboard that gives rewards based on how high you finish and how active you are. So let me know down below your thoughts, and that is my priorities for Diablo Immortal at the moment. As always, remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy Diablo content, and I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.